Yes.
I think so. Okay, great. Hi, so I'm Jeff Zahos. Some of you probably know me, some of you may not. Anyway, I'm the president of the International Guild of Musicians in Dance. And this is our 2021 conference. I'm sure John told you that. Yeah, unfortunately, Owen, who was scheduled to be our first presenter, he and his wife Erin are expecting, and their due date is very soon, and they have he was called away at the last minute, so I'm not exactly sure all the details, but unfortunately he was not able to present. But exciting times for them, hopefully successfully giving birth to their second child. I'm not sure all the details, but I'm sure we'll learn soon. But anyway, welcome to everyone. This is our first gathering. It's our first totally virtual gathering, I think, of all time, but it's our first gathering since the summer of 2018 when we got together down in North Carolina. Natalie Gilbert, who was here, put together our sort of mostly social gathering. And anyway, I think the Guild, one of the things that we do really well is like what we've been doing already so far this morning, which is just connecting dance musicians and getting to know each other a little bit. So I live in California. During the pandemic, I've been, hanging out and trying to figure out what's next. Recently I've been getting back into working as a technician, as an audio engineer, more so than music making, because frankly, that kind of work is coming back sooner than the music making. But anyway, that's me. I suppose I should just pass it on to someone else who wants to introduce themselves. Who's next? I see we have quite a few.
I don't see.
Oops.
Yeah.
As soon as Jeff started talking, everyone shut up. So, Kathy, start talking. Y'all.
Okay, well, our handsome leader here. This is just fantastic. This is my first ever participation in a Zoom conference, and I'm so honored. I've been in the last year or so mainly glued to my computer doing research for the website that I just mounted called Appreciating Ballet's Music. You can go to the Google, it's appreciatingballetsmusic.com without the apostrophe for the URL. But this is just mind-boggling for me to discover how much is available online on YouTube now. And whoops, are we still going? Should I keep talking?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, keep talking. All right. But there are performances of complete works, 2 and 3 hours, and all kinds of documentaries. And so what's different about, this is my 5th book about theatrical music for dance. What's different is because Claudia Queen urged it, and Eric Schwartz, who's also a Guild member, said, well, you got to have videos. So I have 17 essays, and with each chapter, there's notes with hyperlinks so people can click on right away and immediately see performances and documentaries related to what's discussed. So that's what I've been doing.
And you're going to present on that, right? Tomorrow?
No, my observations tomorrow are going to be about musicians in guilds for musicians in dance, past, present, and future.
But we'll have to make sure to promote your.
Okay, yes, but partly based on my research, what I found some interesting things from the past.
Okay, cool. We'll have to make sure to put your URL to your website somewhere.
Great. Yeah, we'll put the URL in there, Kathy, so people can see it in the chat. How about, so I see some new faces too. Let's see. Brian, do you want to introduce yourself? I know Brian from Instagram, which has been a great way that our network has expanded. Do you mind saying hi, Brian?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian. I'm another Californian, along with Jeff here, Southern Californian. I've been doing this for a long time, playing for dance, bunch of different instruments. My mom was a dance teacher at Cal State Fullerton. They had like a theater company, my parents did, and she taught improvisation like forever and ever and ever. So I grew up basically in the dance studio with her and tinkling around on the piano and bringing my sitar in and random stuff. So that kind of took off into just, I mean, it seems to be what I do all the time now. So I lived in Japan for a bit, studied shamisen and taiko, and I use a looper and guitars and random things. But I love improvising.
Bueno, a la calle Rivers, como por detrás del auditorio. Sí.
Ah, yeah. Oh no. Somebody's.
I think Mariana, are you there? Can you mute yourself? Okay, Brian, go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's good to be here to connect with some other people. Like somehow this job doing this thing is sort of lonely sometimes. It's a very bizarre kind of ghost-like feeling to be this presence in the room that has all this power and yet like absolutely no power at the same time. It's kind of spooky, and I've been doing this for like realizing like I'm almost 40, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for like 12 years, 15 years. It's like time's going by, and I'm sort of reevaluating everything and like, do I even like doing this anymore? The pandemic was really interesting because I got to like have my room set up exactly as I wanted, all my like equipment right there, and then I just like go into it and just play and let everyone hear. But now that we're back, it's sort of like back to everything is normal, and I don't know, I'm looking for how to make things different, change things, make things more dynamic, more satisfying for both ends. So
Were you playing dance classes remotely?
I was playing dance classes remotely, which was actually really, really enjoyable and good and bad, but really interesting.
So you found it enjoyable because you had your own setup there. But
yeah.
Was it enjoyable in other ways, and how was it unenjoyable?
It was enjoyable in the way that like when I was on mute, I could continue to create. It's like I could continue to create and play and be like almost accompanying the teaching, accompanying the stuff, like for myself, like for my own sake, for my own musical flow. And then when I was needed to actually like plug in, unmute, and like continue, and be recording things in the background and be like continuing to create the whole time. And also just supplying like really interesting sound environments for the people in their weird remote locations and trying to bring them together. So I don't know, it was a lot of fun, weirdly. But yeah, anyway, just
about any drawbacks you found?
Drawbacks, obviously, there's bits of delay sometimes. There's bits of, people not being on the same page, in and out. As far as dance, it's like not being in the same room, not touching each other, not feeling vibrations in the room. But weirdly, there's a way of like feeling really, I don't know, face presence with everyone at the same time when you're on Zoom, which I thought was actually kind of cool. Which you can't get in person sometimes. So I don't know, just different, very different. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Great.
We bought some kind of synchro box. What's it called? Synchro? Maybe it was called synchro box, whatever. That worked out. I'll have to research that thing again.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe I'll look for it sometime. That actually was quite good at synchronizing the sound and the teaching.
Interesting.
I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm
that
fascinated.
kind of obviated that. But the problem was that the teacher had to learn how to use it. And in my experience, a lot of dancers are pretty technophobic. I'm sure that situation is changing, but you know.
Yeah. It it worked out pretty well. But yeah, anyway, hi everyone, good to be here.
Thank you, Brian. John, do you want me to keep emceeing around here and hearing from some new people? Okay, great. How about Mav? Mav?
Mav, yeah.
Hi, Mav.
I am very new to all of this. I'm a college student at Mount Holyoke in Massachusetts, and I am a music major and didn't really know that being a dance musician was a thing until I took my first modern dance class here. Like I grew up dancing and all the music was like somebody plugging in their phone and like hitting play on a song, and that's what we would dance to. But then I took my first class here, and Peter Jones, the musician here, yeah, he rocks. He's awesome, and he started playing in the beginning of the class, and I was like, oh my god, this is a thing. I was like just blown away by it and by like the intersection of movement and music, and I loved it so much that I just kind of wanted to redirect my entire time at college to dance music. And I am currently trying to figure out how to shift my thesis around to be that. Yeah, I'm just really excited to learn about the whole world of dance musicianship.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Where did you say, where is here, Mav? We missed that bit.
Oh, I am in Western Massachusetts at Mount Holyoke College.
Ah, an excellent place to be.
All right, great. Thank you, Mav. How about Angelin?
I just wanted to add to Mav that a lot of us started that way. And a lot of, and you're not the only dancer to become a dance musician. I'm thinking of Martha Partridge, if those of you who know Tigger's wife. But it's really, yeah, it's really, a lot of us started out that way. So great, yay. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Angelin. I am also new here and fairly new at ballet piano. Let's see, I'm in Orlando, Florida. You can see the sun coming in through my windows. So it's 90 degrees here today, October 1st. But I kind of randomly got connected with the guy who was serving as company pianist for the professional company that we have here. We were teaching private lessons through the same institution and met one day, and he voiced that he really needed someone to take some days playing for company class because it was just too much of a workload for him. And so I knew really from TV and movies, you know, that live accompaniment and dance classes was a thing, but I'm not really an improviser. I'm kind of a by the book type of person, and felt very intimidated by the spontaneity required to play in a ballet class. But it's been a really fun journey for me, and I recently have just felt, I've been doing it for about 3 years now, but have felt the need to get more connected. There's really no one else here that does that. And so like has been said by others, it can be a little isolating at times, and just need a new, you know, more ideas, bounce ideas off other people. So.
Hey, Angelin, we have my wife is an equestrian, and we have a little horse farm in Ocala.
Oh yeah, right.
So when I'm down there, I'll have to come to Orlando. We can hang out.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, and awesome. Angelin, I think we all kind of relate to what you're talking about. And I have found the Guild to be a place to connect with other people who share that passion. So welcome. Let's see. Joanne stepped away. Let's see, who else do we have here? Jeff. Hi, Jeff. I'm glad there's another Jeff. I'm not the only one.
Hi. I'm Jeff. I live in Wisconsin. I'm another ballet pianist. And I kind of this is my first time in any of these meetings. I heard about it a few days ago from a colleague here in Wisconsin. And I was curious what it would look like to hear from other dance musicians in other places. I'm a piano teacher and I'm very interested in teaching improvisation. And I find that improvising for ballet class is kind of a good sort of organizer for ways of thinking about improvisation, because the combinations that you get from the teacher have built-in things like repetition and phrasing and expression in them. And I was curious about this session, which is not currently happening, on training people to play for ballet classes. So, hi everyone.
We'll try to get Owen to, if he can. He had a little bit of an emergency he had to deal with, so maybe later on. I'm working on it.
No worries.
Well, Jeff, one thing to check out in lieu of Owen's talk is to shoot, I don't know how much is on the web, but you might try Googling the Mark Morris Dance, MDG, Mark Morris Dance Group's accompanist training program, I think is what it's called. And that's what Owen did, and that's what he was going to talk about. But it's something that they've held at least every summer for the past 2 or 3 years. I don't know if I don't think it happened during COVID, but anyway, yeah, you might Google that. If somebody could put that in the chat, that'd be good too. Awesome. Well, welcome from Wisconsin, Jeff. Thanks for being here. I'd love to hear from Joanne, who I've communicated with, but I don't think we've ever met virtually like this. Yeah, sure. Do you mind saying hi, Joanne? If not,
no. Hello, everyone. How are you? So interestingly enough, Jeff, I did the Mark Morris accompaniment program with Owen this summer. I was curious. I'm a percussionist and composer, sound designer. Been working with dance for a long time, primarily over the years, really on the composition side and collaborating in that way, on and off as an accompanist. I think the Mark Morris training program, and I would love to hear what Owen's take on it was going to be. I think that week was really geared more for absolute beginners. And because Mark Morris is so steeped in ballet, we did get a lot of ballet, which as a percussionist, I really appreciated. So I think it's worth looking into, especially if you're looking to get some groundwork on that. It was probably 9 pianists to 3 percussionists who were signed up for that week. And a lot of the people on were just starting out, mostly pianists. I think to Angelin's point too, is this idea of having to let go of the strict repertoire, like gotta be flexible, have to be able to improvise, have to pick up phrasing, pick up tempo, pick up meter, like you gotta dive into that, don't be afraid. But anyway, hi everyone. I'm a New Yorker living in Florida, that's how I put it. So, and I went to undergrad with Andy Hassenflug, who's speaking tomorrow. So Andy and I were cohorts at Purchase together. And again, being at college, Maeve, was like, you just get involved. And my sister was a dancer, so I was exposed to dance before my undergrad. But I think it is a unique type of musician, and it's a unique skill. And I mean, I don't think every musician can do it. And if I can say that without sounding like an arrogant a-hole. But it's a special thing, and welcome. And if you're passionate about it, I say go for it.
Awesome.
And
Thank
nice
you.
to meet everyone.
Yeah. So glad to hear from you, Joanne.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump into that because there may not be an advanced degree in it, like a PhD in it yet, but learning as you're going is what's so exciting. And things have changed because we all invented things as we went along and made connections as we went along. And to me, I want to keep that part alive. I don't want to just have to study it at a school to learn it. I think every person brings something unique, and that's what makes it exciting. you know, so yeah, you just have to do it. That's how you get better at it, and really watch other people do it, and just yeah, immerse yourself and just be brave, be very brave. Thank you.
Yeah, Nick Woud, he's the timpanist of the Concertgebouw Orchestra in Netherlands. And one time I had a conversation with him, and he said, the timpanist has to have the heart of a lion. And that was his way of saying you just have to be brave. And it was it was an interesting moment because it was about playing orchestral timpani. But I've taken that lesson, and I would remember that in the midst of a dance class when it's like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to have the heart of a lion and just go and jump and take a leadership position, even when I feel like I'm, you know, totally lost. You just have to go for it sometimes, dive straight in. How about Konstantinos? Hi, do you mind saying hello?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. I'm from another continent. I'm from Athens in Greece, in Europe. I have learned about the Guild from Instagram and Facebook. I'm working as a postdoc researcher at the University of Athens in the broader field of sound and music computing. But apart from my music experience, I love dance. And I figured out that the times that I enjoy music the most is when it accompanies dance performances. So recently I have started developing applications that enable the interaction of between music and dance. And hopefully, currently I'm trying to find the funding to do a postdoc research on the intersection of dance technology and music. And in Greece, we don't have the opportunity to study music connected with dance. And I have found the Guild online. And for me, it's a pleasure to meet the experts of the field and to get some knowledge and some experiences from you. So nice to meet you all, and good luck for the conference.
Wow, thank you, Konstantinos. I'm sure that some folks in our midst might have might be good people to communicate with regarding your search for postdoc.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the United States or elsewhere, there may be opportunities for what you're looking for. So, one thing you might do, Konstantinos, you're new to the Guild. That's true?
Yeah.
Great. So if any of you are new to the Guild and you registered for the $0, email me and we will sign you up for a year-long membership, and that will give you access to our discussion forum. And the discussion forum is a great place to post and say, hey, here I am, here's what I'm looking for. And that will go to everybody who's a member recently. And that might be a good way to throw some lines out there and see what you can catch. So
thank you very much.
Yeah. So do that, anytime in the future.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Konstantinos.
Nice to meet you all.
Yes, good to meet you. And I'd love to hear from Nicholas, who I have emailed. You and I have communicated, and I'd love to say hello to you. Do you mind introducing yourself? I think you are currently muted. You're currently muted.
I'm now unmuted. Okay. Good day. Nice to see a lot of people that I've met before, Karen and Mariana. I took Karen's workshop over a weekend because I met her through the Guild or looking for search. I don't remember, Karen, how we actually connected, but that was a great experience. I'm a former New Yorker. I was in New York in 1977. I still have, I was just saying earlier, actually some ballet scores on my bookshelf that I bought at Padelson's. So our paths never crossed, but I worked for a number of different companies, not as a pianist, but as a theater person. I was downtown doing lots of stuff. I also worked for an uptown music publisher, Galaxy Music, for a while. And I relocated to Montreal in 1984. And I ended up being a theater director and an arts administrator. and played music on the side. I came out of a rock and roll. I actually played CBGB and all that kind of stuff, as well as Carnegie Recital Hall. So I have a mixed bag of musical experience. And I found myself going back to, I played some dance for friends in New York. And after, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, I met a couple of Russian ladies who had retired to the Eastern Townships. I live outside of Montreal, about an hour in Lac Brome, Quebec. And they started a little dance school, mostly for their kids, because they were no longer, but they're ex-professional dancers, Grand Ballet Montreal, Marinsky Ballet. And these 2 ladies from Siberia came, and they came with a lot of music. So I ended up playing a lot of things that were the rented music, but mostly out of Vaganova and various printed scores from Russia. But it appeals to me tremendously because I play a lot of chansons françaises. I can play, Kurt Weill. I've done Kurt Weill shows. Theater. I always liked music with something else, abstract music. I was involved with concert music world in New York for a long time. It's much more exciting to do it with something else in tandem with music for me. And I found that it really appealed. The whole dance accompaniment world is all about a combination of classical material, which you can use short excerpts, the improvisational aspect of it, the popular song, all these things are mixed together. And I found it amazingly fascinating. So it's my obsession. I come from a partial academic background. I studied early 18th century theater and dance and music in France and Italy, comic intermezzi, that sort of thing, which all comes out of a improvisational commedia dell'arte background. So I'm kind of got that performance art combination, dance, theater, activity that I am pursuing, and my curiosities are being enhanced by performing and playing for dance classes. I tune pianos, and I also teach some piano. I was recently, and what I'm kind of curious about when exploring is how can I teach a young person that plays the piano, that takes dance classes, how can I get them to become an accompanist? Because they're just passing on this information and trying to coalesce all it. I work for a music publisher, so I'm sort of like, how can we put books together that say, this is a very simple thing, this is intermediate things. I mean, I'm pulling my music from all kinds of sources. And as I mentioned earlier, I literally have books from 40 years, 50 years ago. And what's the best way to teach a young person? So I'm doing it through improvisation and the forms that we're using. And I'm just continuing that process. And it's nice to meet you, and hopefully we'll do it in person someday.
Wow, great. Thank you, Nicholas. It's great to meet you. I would love to hear, I'm sure there are other of us who would love to hear about your pedagogy and your use of improvisation to that end. And you mentioned an in-person thing. I should just take a moment to mention that the organizing committee for this conference, so that's John Tenges, who's our host, Manjunan, who's down there, and I'm not sure if you're looking at this on a computer or a mobile device, but Manju is also on the committee. And then where's Mariana? Mariana? Oh, might have lost Mariana, but anyway, Mariana Palacios also on the committee. So the 4 of us have been meeting to put this together, and we have a vision for and have crossed fingers for an in-person gathering in the spring to follow up with this one. So we don't know where that's going to be or exactly when, but that's in the offing, hopefully. And so there may be an opportunity for you, Nicholas. We'd love to meet in person. John, are you still working on technical things? And would you like us to move on, or would you like to just continue with introductions, or what's your thoughts?
I'm enjoying this session a lot, so I think we should continue.
Okay. Lovely. Let's see. Who else would like to say hello?
How about Queenie Chang?
Oh yeah, Queenie, are you here? Can you hear us? Can we hear from you? Oh, there she is. Oh, hello. Oh, wait, we saw you.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Ursula from Taiwan, Taipei.
Wow. Welcome.
Yeah, it's my sleeping time. I needed to go to bed later. Yeah, but because I signed up the conference, so I needed to say hello to everybody. Yeah, and I play in the Q&A in Taipei. I met Claudia Quinn before. Hi. Yeah, because she has been our school and I joined her teaching. Yeah, so it's actually I'm here it's for a long time. Yeah, but it's my first time to be here to see everybody. Yeah, you are awesome because sometimes I will see some film on the YouTube. Is see everybody play the for the improvisation. It's so wonderful. So I can learn a lot about the playing for the ballet, for the modern dance. Yeah, I learned a lot. Yeah, so it's very happy to hear everybody can sharing your experience for play for the dance, because I also very enjoy to play music for the dance. Yeah, I sometimes I play the ballet and also play for the modern dance in our school. Yeah, so welcome. Say hello to everybody. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, and welcome to you. And you you have found your tribe. I think here with this group. I know I definitely have. Welcome, and thank you for staying up late. I know it's probably very late right now. I know it's probably very late, like you said.
Yeah,
So,
but I will try to for long stay longer. Yeah.
okay.
Have more coffee.
Good, more coffee. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Would Mariano, you're back. Good to see you. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Yeah, sorry I couldn't connect on time, but now I'm set. So nice that this is happening finally. Yes, we have you tell everyone that these sessions will be recorded. So you spoke right now, Hui Ning Chan. If you cannot join, you will be able to see it later, right?
Yes. So the sessions are being recorded, and so folks who can't be here now can see it later.
Yeah, good. I'm Mariana, and I'm in Spain right now, in Barcelona. Well, I've been playing mostly for ballet classes for 13, 14 years now. I have played also a little bit for modern. I studied with Deborah in Paris, and I took also the workshop with Karen. So yeah, we have some contact here, and maybe some of you know me from the YouTube videos. And I'm trying to contribute with my experience and with my knowledge, because I was a dancer also. So I have a little bit of, both sides. And I'm working with the social media of the guild little by little, trying to build more space online. So I hope we will be able to grow also the Instagram, the YouTube channel, and to be able to connect in social media, because it's so fast and so easy. So well, I know for some of you Instagram is like like you don't know anything, or you don't have an account either. But well, from the new generations, maybe for new people that are willing to learn and to exchange, I think it's a really good platform. So yeah, I will speak a bit about this on my lecture on Sunday. So very nice to meet all of you, and thank you for joining.
Great, thank you, Mariana. Manju, would you like to introduce yourself? Also a member of the organizing committee for this conference.
Hello. Nice to see many faces, people I've met personally, people I've whose emails I've read, and I'm excited about seeing new faces, older faces. Some I've known for decades, but all in all, we are connected by movement and the language of music, and the language of music and movement. Played many years of modern, postmodern improvisation classes, couple of university departments. I spent the last, I started a research project in 2003, and I thought it'll take me a few months. It took me 12 years to finish it. I'm still coming out of it, and my presentation is on that, but some good directions, some good discoveries, and all the work that you do is the foundation for the outcomes of what I see. So this is exciting, and nice to meet you.
I don't know what happened to Jeff. Benji Compy's gone. But hey, I'll take over. Who wants to speak next? How about Karen? Karen McIver. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Hi, everyone. I've got a terrible internet connection here. I don't know if I'm even being seen.
Yeah, you're very clear here. I don't know.
Oh, great! It's been
Maybe
really
it's a
hard.
one-way connection.
It might be. I'll keep speaking. Oh, I do love listening to everybody's description. It's so fluid and easy how everyone self-describes themselves. It feels like we're all doing a bit of online dating here. It's just great to see everybody. And do you know, it always fascinates me how on earth we've all ended up somehow in the same profession, and now how we've managed to be in the same room. So, you know, it's a fantastic 3 days that we can have together. And, you know, it's lovely because I'm beaming in from Glasgow in Scotland, in the UK. And in many ways, we feel slightly isolated with many things that are happening over here. And just to speak across the water to you all is really, really important. What can I say? Hopefully I'll be speaking on Sunday about the work that I've been doing at running an improvisation postgraduate study for 12 years, and until the pandemic hit, that was my job. And you know, there's opportunity that happens when things change, and you know, one of the opportunities is to see you all this weekend. So I'll hopefully see you Sunday.
Thanks, Karen. I want to introduce who's sitting next to me. Yeah, she didn't want to talk, but I'm making her talk. So go ahead, Beverly Hilmer. She's one of our wonderful musicians at our staff here at the University of Illinois.
Hi, Beverly.
You're muted, John.
Oh.
How I got into dance. I had a daughter who was taking dance lessons, and they were getting very expensive. And so it was a new startup company. He was, I think, Hero Up Dancer came into Atlanta, Georgia, started his own company. My daughter was beginning to dance. And so I said, I'll play her classes to cut her costs. And I had no idea what I was doing. And so I kind of grew up learning as I began working with him. And learned, just had a great experience understanding dancers. I was classically based, classically trained, so ballet is my first love. And then we ended up here, and I've learned so much. It's an amazing department here. So I've learned to I think John really pressed me, and I was like, no, I do music. No, I don't improv. So I've come a long way in being able to just create a class from nothing modern or ballet. So it's been a huge growing. I've learned so much from dancers, and kind of the change for me, COVID has been a really interesting season because we did still dance here at Illinois, and but ballet was happening, but everything else was outside. So I'm now in the studio a little bit. I just play a few classes, but no one would be in the studio. And there's this marvelous Steinway that I love. And so I thought, well, I really should come up with more music, read some new music and play through things. And as I began exploring, I kept exploring and thought, you know, I haven't done a solo program in 25 years. So as a result of COVID, I'm doing my first solo program ever in 2 weeks, and visiting all new, it's all classical music. And people are saying, are you going to improv? You're going to create? And I'm finding it's fascinating to me how much I'm finding my voice, exploring it with another voice. That's kind of my thought. So, and being in the world of dance, I've asked to play in the dance studio, which is great. And then I asked 2 dancers to join me. So they're going to choreograph. So it's kind of this eclectic give back, you know, to dance has given to me and opened doors for me. And so now I'm going to be playing in a dance studio. I will be having dancers join me. And so,
Can we Zoom it? Can we?
we're working on how to, you know, what we'll do, put it together.
We'll
It's a mix. It's my personal story. It's like 40 minutes of music, all new, and some dancers.
Maybe we should broadcast it to our group.
We'll
Okay, I'm gonna make sure that happens.
Wow. Well, it's so great to hear from you, Beverly. Bev and I are friends from, probably 2 decades back, playing music in the dance studio and in church together. And so it's so lovely to hear from you. And your work on that program sounds really amazing. Let's see. Who else would like to say hello? We have, trying to look.
Stephanie Schroeder.
Oh yeah, Stephanie, welcome.
Welcome everybody. Well, I'm from Austria. I'm for the first time in this little group. I'm very happy. Manu invited me to talk a little bit. Perhaps I'm the only non-professional practitioner, so I'm much more in the theoretical field, and I have a new professorship in Vienna for theories of music and movement. It's for the first time in the German-speaking countries. And I guess it's a good opportunity to think a little bit about this field and to bring it a little bit, to a broader audience. I don't know. So I will talk a little bit about the Music and Dance Study Group of the AMS, American Musicological Society, which is also such a group as you are, but well, a little bit more academic. And I think it could be good to build a bridge, to be stronger, and to bring a little bit more resonance to this field. Yeah, thank you very much that I can stay here, and yeah, I will talk later on this evening a little bit more about my field and the study group of the AMS.
Thank you, Stephanie. We're very excited to have you here, and very excited about that bridge you talked about too. We're also really looking forward to that. Let's see. We have the 2 Andys. Would one of the Andys like to say hello? All right. Maybe one of them will materialize.
Yes. Hi, sorry, I'm just trying to multitasking. Great to see everybody. Hi, Claudia. Hi, everybody. I'm just looking at Kathy's new website, which looks fantastic. I teach at NYU, for those of you who don't know me, and I teach a class I'm really excited about now is the one where I put the composers from the other departments together with our choreographers and look at their projects and develop them. And it's a lot of improvisation and collaborative work. And I'm often mentioning the Guild, actually, increasingly, as students think about how this works, how music and dance cross-pollinate. So I'm really excited to see everybody and glad to reconnect.
Thanks, Andy. Good to see you. Other Andy.
Yeah, I was named for the first Andy, so I have to go next. A lot older than I am. So, okay, hi. I'm at my desk working and listening to you all. It's it's been a long time, hasn't it? So I go back about 20 years in this organization. So my heart is warmed just by seeing Alan's name and the screen there, even without his face. You know, the being part of the guild has meant a lot to me over the years, and the relationships. Hey, Alan. It's good to see you guys. I started as a dance musician also at college, so I'm really interested in Mav being here. I think we all kind of like vibe to where she is. And I started as a musician in dance classes, but I was dancing at the same time. And for me, learning to be an accompanist and learning to be an improvising dancer really were two sides of the same coin. It was all about perceiving and acting in an integrated way with all of me. And I did that as a dancer and as a musician for a long time, but now I'm what am I? I'm the music director of the dance department at Marymount Manhattan College. I've been a professor there about 20 years. I do not have much to do with accompanying there anymore, which I'm grateful for because we have a lot of accompanists and managing them is a really big deal. So I teach music for dance classes, I teach music cognition classes, I teach songwriting classes, I teach in and out of the department, and I do a lot of mentoring of choreography. And I'm really happy to see Stephanie here, whom I've never met, but as many of you know who've been around the Guild, I've been active as a kind of theorist of music and dance over the last couple decades, and been talking about that and publishing about that. And that work actually started off in a room on the Upper West Side. Some Guild gathering was when I did my first experiments. Kathy was in the room there. So Stephanie, I won't be able to make your it's a presentation at 1, right? Aren't you at 1 today? Maybe I can show up in the last half. I hope to, but I'll be watching it eagerly and hoping to connect with you afterwards. And great to see the new faces. It's like all about the new faces, really. I love seeing the old ones, but seeing so many new people come in is not so old, Manju, but you know what I mean. It's good to see everybody.
I forgot to mention, I just want to put in that for years I taught with Bill Moulton at NYU, and I just want to say that, being here with you guys, it makes me just think of him. And of course, I got to say, I miss him more and more, really. I'm telling you, at NYU, his untimely death a few years ago. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Andes, and later on at the sort of evening session, or the late morning session as it is for me, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the ways that we plan on memorializing Bill and honoring some of our other folks. So someone else who would like to say hi. Alan, you showed up there in your video box. Would you like to say hi?
Sure, I'll say hi. I've been here for a while, but I'm multitasking. For at least Norman and I, it's 8:30 in the morning, 8:40 in the morning. So and it's a weekday. So I'll be in and out today. Anyway, this is my 28th year on the faculty at University of California, Irvine. Coming up next year on my 40th anniversary of playing my first dance class. And so that's kind of disturbing to me to hear that out of my own mouth. But so the University of California, I don't know what to say at this point. I think of myself primarily as a composer for choreography. I still play, but not nearly as much as I used to in class. I find that if I don't play at all, it makes it harder to compose. So I think the improvisation is kind of an engine for creativity. And to that, and I think the most interesting that I've done in the last 2 years was there was a call for honor seminars for the campus, not for the arts. And I proposed a course called Improvisation as a Mode of Research. and it got accepted. And so I've been teaching this seminar for 3 years on improvisation to non-majors, to say that the tools that we regularly apply or we think of as associated with improvisation are actually ways of intellectual engagement, and they apply across many different fields. And so the foundational reading is the neurobiology. I don't know if you probably have heard about it anyway, that if you do a brain scan of a musician while they're playing something from memory or reading music and playing, your brain lights up in a certain way, but the minute you ask them to improvise, their brain lights up in a completely different way. And then looking at those regions of the brain. So that pleases the students in the class who are coming out of the sciences. And then I have a philosopher essay on, well, what exactly are we talking about when we talk about improvisation? And so we build this kind of intellectual model for what's going on. And then the course is very active, though. We do improvisation every class. A lot more coming out of theater than out of music, but I bring in, I have a lot of colleagues here who are really good improvisers, like world-class improvisers. And so we've never done anything together. And so I bring them in as guest artists, and they do exercises with the kids. The theater exercises seem to be the easiest path in. And there's a lot of theater improvisation exercises and books on it out there, so it's not that hard to research. I'd say the most fun class that happens in this course is when I get them to do hip hop, and they all can do it, and they're stunned that they can do it. Don't ask me to demonstrate it right now. But we start with Shakespeare. They have to do a book of rhymes. We just talk about rhythmic grooves. So the thing that is so interesting about it is that, most of our discussion is about time. And I think that I don't have pearls of wisdom, but they're starting to form around this course about the way that we need to be in time in our world in order to execute our best selves, and what being in time in our world is really an interesting question, not just at the piano in a dance class, but when you're in a meeting, or when you're reading a book, or when you're taking a walk, or all of these, it's another way of saying being in the moment. So anyways, that's been, I think, for me, the most interesting thing. I teach music for dance. I teach music theory. Music for dance, and the other thing I should say, University of California has they're very proud of their very low COVID infection rate. And part of that was they just shut down. We went entirely remote starting in March of 2020, and we just stayed there. We never experimented with coming back earlier. And then suddenly right now, why I'm a little disheveled this weekend is we just started. This is week 1. And the
no, això sí, però vull dir que just els que compres tu potser són més explotats que els altres.
Well, I don't know what that is, but it's much better, more interesting than me.
No sé.
So since we're...
No, això ja ho havia descartat jo,
Hi.
Anyway.
Oh. Yeah, go on.
I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, we're all back. So we're all kind of in shock because we haven't seen these people in 18 months. We're dealing with this. The upside has been that we had to make tons of lecture videos. And so I'm now trying to figure out how to teach a course. I'm not going to throw these videos out. So I just need to integrate them into live teaching.
Hi ha una mica de rancor en les teves paraules?
Okay, I give up.
Hugo Vilamala. Ah, yes, now it's mute. Good.
You should be good now,
Alan. Yeah, go ahead, Alan. You want to finish?
I think I've had enough mic time.
Yeah, we should move along because we're almost to 11, to our next hour. So didn't want to cut you off, Alan, but we haven't heard from a couple other people real quick, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeff?
Alan, let's look forward to hearing from you in person when we get together next time in the spring. I want to hear more about your work with time and being in time. Let's see, I see just a few more people who we haven't heard from yet. Maybe it makes sense to hear from one of your former colleagues, fantastic musician, improviser, and all-around guy, Norman Beatty. Do you mind saying hi, Norman?
Yeah, thanks for that great introduction. The check's in the mail.
Great.
Yeah, good to see you all, and good to see so many newcomers. I too, when I started, which was, you know, don't feel bad, Alan. It's been 50 years this September. This last month was 50 years from my very first dance class, which was at Cal Arts. I too did not know that playing for dance was a thing. And when I discovered it, it was really quite a revelation. And they paid me $5.30 an hour at the time. And believe me, you could buy a lot of stuff with that. Gas was 35, 40 cents a gallon. Cigarettes were like maybe it's about the same price, you know, and a burger, it was a meal was $1.50. Anyway, I retired from Cal State and UC Systems 2 years ago, and had a great career. I still do play part-time for ballet and modern at American Ballet Theater School in Costa Mesa here. I got to know Bill Moulton, I think, when he came in. I was the class of 71. I think he started in either 71 or 72 at Cal Arts. So I feel very lucky to have discovered dance, and I feel like it was really instigated all kinds of things for me. I never considered myself a composer until I was asked to compose for dance, and most of what I've composed is for dance, some of which have lives of their own. So yeah, I don't know, how do you compact 50 years? It's impossible. So I look forward to getting to know the newcomers and to commiserate with my old friends.
Great, thanks, Norman. Claudia, do you want to say hi? Oh, I think you're still muted. I see a crossed out microphone. There you go. Yes.
Hi, everybody. It's just so great to see so many people here, and to have a representative from TNUA. I'm so happy to have gone there and had some influence. And Kathy, your work is amazing. Thank you for taking my advice. Very important to have videos. My musician said, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're seeing. So it was very important to put those in. So thank you for that. I've been in the field for 40 years, and I've just felt very blessed. Started as a dancer, like many of you, and I've loved it. I'm feeling like I'm retired for the last 2 years, so I'm getting used to that. I'm living on a 130 acre farm in Ohio right now. And I'm just so happy to see so many people carrying on the tradition, and so great to be here. That's all.
Thank you, Claudia. Deborah, hello. Would you like to say hi? From Paris, right? Am I?
Hi. Yeah, well, we started out in the beginning, and I don't think anybody realized that we were on. So I'm a born and bred New Yorker who left. So I got started in the late 70s and then left and went to California and took Natalie's advice and took dance classes all the time. I'm more contemporary than classical. In fact, now classical teachers ask me to play in their class to give a contemporary feel. I started out on piano, but I use the wave drum, which I love. I do my loops with the jam man. I have a mini Korg, lots of acoustic instruments, lots of percussion. Sometimes my Tibetan bowls come out in class. My theory is the whole Jose Limon thing: dancers are musicians, musicians are dancers. I studied Dalcroze in Switzerland. So I'm based in Paris now, and I form musicians to play for dance class. And so that's how I met Mariana. who was sent to Paris to do her little contemporary part. And I love it. I've been doing it since 2007. The best part of it is the playing. I didn't want to get into the university scene, but I'm in the Conservatory of Paris. But I play and I share with people. And I must have about 15 different classes a week. And like Alan has said, and other people, it's living in the moment that's so exciting about it. And I don't miss New York. Maybe I should, but I come back from time to time. But this for me is a really nice connection. And I've sort of flirted with it in and out. You don't probably remember because Rob did a class on Alexander technique. And I don't know how I got an invitation, but I was in on that. And I thought, oh God, I got to get in touch with these people again. So when I saw this on Facebook, I was like, all right, I'm doing it. So I'm going to join the guild and stay in contact, because it really is good to talk to people, like you said, the tribe. Even if we're all over the world, there's a connection. And I really feel like that's a great thing.
Agreed. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Deborah. Let's see. I see Doug. I'm assuming that's Doug Corbin. I'm not sure. I don't know of any other Douglases off the top of my head.
Hey, Jeff.
Is it? Hi.
Yeah, it's me. Let me just say hello to all my friends. Good to see everybody. I had a change of time zones. I'm in Oldenburg, Germany now. And actually have to play in about 20 minutes. So I just stuck my head in to say hello, and I hope to see everybody more in the coming sessions. Good to see you. Thanks, Jeff.
Lovely. Thank you for saying hi, Doug. So good to see you. Let's see. How about Natalie? Have you said hello? Have you officially? The amazing and wonderful Natalie Gilbert.
No, well, Deborah and I were on early and we reconnected because apparently I trained her in New York years ago.
You did. We'll talk about it.
But I had to laugh at the Norman. I made $2.50, not at the same time you were making $5. So stop complaining. But anyway, yeah, there's too much. Like we can't. With the older people, I've been doing it for 55 years. We can't. Yeah, begin to summarize. But it's just lovely to meet everybody and to have the new energy and to keep this alive. But I feel like for about the last 25 plus years, I feel like I've been fighting to keep live music in the dance class because at various times it has threatened to disappear, not so much in ballet, but because of money in ballet, yes, too. But it's lovely to see the energy and the new interest that we can keep this alive, because I didn't like that very much. But welcome.
Path. Yes, good.
I'm
sorry.
Thanks, Natalie. Yeah. Oh, John, I think there's one other. There we go. Boy, anyone else who would like to say hello before we take break?
We have several people haven't. Robert Bergner is one who hasn't said it.
Well, yeah, just so you know, we're officially into our lunch break right now. So if
I don't think so. Aren't you supposed to be talking now?
No, it's noon. It's noon in the East Coast, right?
No.
Yeah.
Our break is after your. Oh, it is. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's fine. This is more important than talking about microphones. Let's just keep saying hello, and then we'll break and hear from Steph.
Okay. Sounds good. Sorry. I'll shut up.
So yes, I can say hello really quick so you can talk about microphones. Bob Bergner. I am also a musician and dancer, and of course a musician for dance. I've been playing for class, composing for dance for several decades around New England and New York and Quebec. And I currently play for class at Choate Rosemary Hall, which many of you will know is a well-known prep school in Connecticut, right up the street from where I live in New Haven. play for modern and ballet and improvisational classes. I think it's one of my favorite things to do in all the world. Being in the dance studio is one of my favorite places, and playing for class, such a tremendous opportunity to improvise and think quickly and use whatever possible musical skills and creativity one has, and just endless opportunity to develop new skills and try things out. And
Amen.
You know, if it screws up for the 2-minute exercise, oh well, you'll work it out and try it again next time. So it's just a great place to work, and I enjoy it. And the people at Choate in particular are very supportive and friendly and creative, and the kids are amazing. So that's it. Oh, I guess I'm also a pastor of a church in Hamden, Connecticut. So that seems important, where I also use some of my musical skills, particularly songwriting skills. So that's what I do. Nice to be here with you all. Thanks for having this group. It's great to have colleagues in this wonderful journey of music and dance.
Yes, well, great. Thank you, Robert. And I agree wholeheartedly with your sentiments about being in the dance studio and all of what it means. I should mention that Mariana, who manages our social media, she made a post about Robert, I believe, on Instagram a while ago. We featured Robert, right, Mariana? And Robert in his clerical robes playing saxophone, which was quite, if we haven't done it yet, well, you'll see those really great photos that Robert shared with us.
Robert, your view and pictures. No, we didn't post about you, I think. We didn't.
We're planning on it, because those are great shots. You guys will see them.
Great.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's 10 after. So we have Paz and who?
Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi, Paz.
How are you all? Excuse me, because here in Spain it's 6:30 in the evening. So it means it's a Friday. I'm with my kids in the park and I'm listening to you guys at the same time as I'm trying to control these little two fellas here. Well, I'll introduce myself. I've been a dance musician for the last 15 years here in Granada. I work in a conservatory, professional dance conservatory, mostly with ballet and contemporary dance classes. Improvisation is my favorite thing in the world. And well, I'm currently finishing my PhD on the works of Josu Gallastegui, who's been my master. And wait a second, you guys. And what else can I tell you about me? I have a lot of experience with the festival. I'm very lucky in Granada. We have an international dance and music festival, which is huge. So it means we have a lot of the big names coming every year, from, I don't know, Royal Ballet to Boston Ballet to, of course, the National Company from here from Spain. And we always have workshops, master classes. That means that I get to, it's not New York, it's Granada, but at least we get a lot of international people coming here, and it is great. It gives me a lot of excitement every year to work with different people. And that's mostly it. I'm glad to meet you all. I see Karen is somewhere around there too, and Mariana, and it is great. I'm willing to have some time to join officially the this fantastic group of musicians, and I'm also willing to finish my PhD so that I can, just add something to our beautiful profession and contribute with something that I consider is important, which is research in our field. And that's it. It's nice to say hello to everybody.
Thank you, Paz. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome. So glad to have you. And you make a good point. I think that, there's a real mix of folks who are practitioners and who are researchers and scholars. And that's one of the unique things. Technologists, Konstantinos and John works a lot with technology. I'm sure there are others among us who do all sorts of things with technology anyway. So we'd love to hear when your work is complete, when your PhD work is complete. Let's see. I see Hoog. Hug? Are you there? If not, we can adjourn for our lunch break. I think it'd be good to go and take a break. We're going to be on screens a lot for the next few days, and maybe I'll hand it to John if he wants to wrap up the session before we take off for a little.
Thank you all for this. Great. It's been fascinating, wonderful to meet everyone. So we have 15-minute break. Let's all do what we need to do. Grab a cup of coffee, a sandwich, whatever, and then Stephanie will be talking in 15 minutes. Well, 16 minutes. So that's that. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. I'm going to take a break myself, and I hope you all will too. So we'll see you in 15 minutes.
Bye.